You're listening to The Raw Reaction on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
It's Monday night and the gang is back. As always, it is your loyal and trustworthy host, Angry Tensai, with his number one man. I'm talking about the thing he loves the most, Big Dick. Big Dick, what's up, brother?
It's me, the one with the big D.
I love Dick.
There is something in the air tonight, and it is not the Ebola virus.
What do you think of all the outbreaks of Ebola?
You know what? I think the way that we need to handle this as a country as a whole, I think we need to bring them all here to make sure they get better. Literally, just fly them all here to make sure they get better. That's been our strategy so far. I think we just need to continue to bring Ebola patients here, and nothing could possibly go wrong.
I think it's a good strategy. Why not get everybody in one place, solve the problem with the best healthcare in the world, and problem solved. I think it's a great idea, Big Dick.
That universal healthcare, it'll take care of everything.
Well, I'm very excited that about your idea because you know what? The best offense is a good defense, or maybe it's the other way around. But I'll take it either way. Anyway,
exactly. You know what else is in the air, Angry Tensai? I don't know if you saw this past weekend. We had not one but two professional NFL players celebrate scoring touchdowns with nothing other than the Fargo strut.
You know, I saw both versions. I thought one was a Ric Flair version, and the other one I saw was very Double J-ish. So I saw two variations of the Fargo strut, and I was very excited.
Yeah, like the one with the woo after it was I felt was a much better Fargo strut.
Yeah, that's very Flairish. But Double J as a horseman did it as well. So, you know what? It's all good. It's all good in Ric Flair land. Anyway, we did have a Monday Night Raw tonight. And, you know, call me an old school mark, but I have to say up until probably about 9:45, this was probably one of the weaker Raws this year just because there were so many weird segments throughout the night. Two in particular I want to point out. First off, what was up with the Hoda and Kathy Lee segment? What was the point of that?
You know what? I'm starting... A while back, I think I proclaimed my absolute hate for the Usos. I'm beginning to feel that same hatred towards Adam Rose.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What do you hate about him the most?
His cheesy dancing, the fact that he's put into actual, like, good, legit angles, or they're basically trying to force feed him down our throat, wrestling scrubs, and nobody likes him. Nobody likes him. He has a cool entrance song, which, if it debuted, like, the night after WrestleMania, he'd probably be an absolute star. But other than that, he's beating up on the likes of Tyson Kidd.
I don't see anything with the guy. I don't think he's entertaining. I think he's a little clunky in the ring. I think he's kind of got a weird build. He's kind of built like Christian. You know, I'm not a huge fan of him, and I don't really understand what the point was with Hoda and Kathy Lee breaking wine bottles over each other's bums. I thought it was a low moment, and it's one of those moments where, as a wrestling fan, I was embarrassed. I was very embarrassed. In fact, my wife was downstairs, and she said, "What is this crap? What are you watching?" And it was like the perfect storm of things that I hate. And again, I'm a big WWE.
Your wife while you're watching this crap?
I'll be honest with you, I pretended like I wasn't. I looked down and was like Googling stuff, so I pretended like I wasn't watching it, but I was mortified. And the crowd reacted. They agreed with me. But I know why.
What the fuck?
Oh, well, I know why they did this segment. and I know why they placed it where they did. So about 2 segments later, they had something that I actually enjoyed, but I know the majority of wrestling fans didn't. I am in love with the Gator character, as we established last week. What I like about the Gator character is he comes out on all fours. That is awesome. Even though should be standing up, and the Gator took on Torito. And a move was unleashed in this match, which was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, and that was the Gator roll. And the Gator roll, like a gator, is the Gator just wraps himself around you and just rolls over and over again. Unfortunately, Heath Slater tried to interfere on the Gator's behalf, and he was hit with the Gator roll accidentally, which led to a Torito win. But man, what did you think of that Gator roll?
You know what? I think it was a pretty solid move. If it was not for the last week's debut of Chickenhead, that might have been the most noteworthy thing on Raw in the last month.
Chickenhead was a great moment in both Monday Night Raw and Raw Reaction history. I love Chickenhead. Chickenhead is like our version of the bunny. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Only Chickenhead has talent.
Yes. I'll never forget. Yeah. Chickenhead. Yeah. I believe you just said Chickenhead. What is a Chickenhead? It's a bitch. What a great moment for the show. Yeah, it was a great moment for everybody. I know we were really proud here at the station of Chickenhead. Well, what I was saying, guys, before I went on my Chickenhead tirade, was after the Gator roll, after Hoda and Kathy Lee, there had to be a reason. And that reason was one of my favorite moments this year in WWE, in which Rusev came out to get an apology from the Big Show for the Big Show messing up the flag of Mother Bulgaria or Russia, whatever flag that he uses. Well, they come out and they do their typical Lana and Rusev song and dance. But this time we hear very surprising music of "Do You Smell What the Rock is Cooking?" Yes, The Rock is back. And you know what? The little internet could be like, "Oh, Rock sucks," but no way, dude. The crowd went crazy. The roof blew off the place because we all know that The Rock is the biggest and best talent ever in WWE and still is. Rock gets in the ring. He's wearing a jacket, pulls off his jacket. He's absolutely ripped, on top of his game. The people go more nuts when he takes his jacket off. Rock goes on an absolute tirade on both Lana and Rusev. Talks about how Lana looks like a Russian streetwalker. Goes off on Rusev about, you come out here saying you're going to smash things and you need to respect WWE. He talks about how The Rock went through all the 5 boroughs and he actually swum to Staten Island. It was just an amazing segment. What do you think of the whole segment with Rock and Rusev?
My favorite part was him calling out Rusev for wearing his tights up to his belly button.
I thought he let Rusev go easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Lana was easy targeting. Also said that she had a bottle of Smirnoff shoved up her, So I was pretty impressed with this segment. And then, obviously, you didn't get to this, but this goes without saying, The Rock layeth this Macketh down on Rusev. Now, my question to you, Angry Tensai, what's next?
Well, they built it up here tonight, and I noticed The Rock. I knew there was going to be some kind of physical altercation. I just didn't know exactly how it was going to happen. Rock actually just unloaded on him with fists, really got the better of him, knocked him out of the ring, and Rusev clearly just backed down. I mean, I don't think there's going to be anything more of it, to be honest with you, Vic. I think it was just for no other reason than they were in Brooklyn. I think they purposely put on some segments that were a little questionable, and it really built up this big Rock moment. And, Rusev's been pretty unstoppable, and Rock completely got the better of him and made him look foolish. I'm not really, listen, I hate Rusev. That's well documented here. he just looked like a complete joke, and it was great. I just thought it was the segment did nothing for Rusev. It was awesome. That's what I liked. Rusev got completely humiliated.
But what happens? What happens next week? Does it go back to Big Show Rusev, or does Rusev challenge The Rock at the next pay-per-view?
I don't even. Maybe they'll fight at WrestleMania. Who knows? I doubt it. I think Rusev is going to absolutely kill Big Show. Someone's going to be on the losing end of Rusev's rage, but I don't think we're going to get more out of this. I think this was very similar.
It might be Lana.
Maybe. I think it's going to be very similar to Hogan's run-in at one of the WrestleManias where he saved Eugene from Muhammad Hassan. Nothing ever really came of that outside of the quick ass beating that Hassan took. I don't really see more coming of this, but man, Rock looked like he was ready to go. You know what's funny though? It's like all these fans talk smack about him, but then the second he comes back, everybody's up his ass and now all big Rock fans again. Everybody's a bunch of hypocrites. I love The Rock. The Rock's the man. He's the best there is. He can't be stopped. It was great.
My only wish was that he had a new T-shirt tonight. I don't think that was a new T-shirt. So, unfortunately, my wardrobe is not going to be growing with Rock merchandise tonight.
You could buy the Mike Tyson jacket if you wore.
I could do that. Damn, I didn't even think of that.
You're a big Tyson fan.
I am. You know what? He had me at, I'm going to eat your children.
Yeah, man. Tyson was great.
That was, that was where he went from epic to legendary.
He beat Lou Savarese in that fight when he made that comment. And right before that, he beat Hurricane Pete McNeely. I mean, wow, what two impressive wins.
Yeah, absolutely. They're both specimen of true fighters.
Well, yeah, I don't really know what'll happen from there, but it was definitely a special moment. Rock saved the day, and I think he turned the show around. I think it was a great show because of that. I felt bad for AJ Lee and Paige that had to go on right after that. But we saw the return of Emma tonight, and she was basically paired up with AJ Lee to take on Alicia and Paige. How'd you feel to see Emma back tonight?
You know what? I think she's better off shoplifting. That's all I can say about that. Did she? I did not see the segment. I was attending just a personal business after a Rock segment. Can you fill me in on exactly what happened here?
Well, there wasn't much to see here outside of the fact that Emma, more so than usual, was doing her mannerisms with her arms, and to the point where AJ was getting very frustrated with her with all the moves that she names after herself and all the things that she did in the match, and AJ just walked out during the match. She didn't really click with Emma. Emma got left, and I have to say, I haven't really paid attention to Paige's matches since she's been in WWE, but that Rampage move, that DDT she uses, man, that thing's pretty nasty. It's like a more wicked version of Edge's Impaler DDT. Very cool stuff. Paige Rampages Emma, and it looked like she killed her. But I guess the moral to the story was AJ doesn't have friends and she doesn't want any friends, as she said before the match, and just left Emma there. So we're going to continue to see the Paige and AJ feud continue to keep going. So that's the way it'll go.
Yeah, that's interesting to see. I don't know. I guess they're going to do something with this in the pay-per-view. I don't think they really led up to this, but it's good to see Emma. It's good to see Emma back. I mean, I don't know how she's still in WWE, but she somehow is. So let's enjoy her.
I have been in that Walmart in Hartford, as I've told everybody. It's very questionable in there. And my God, for $21 iPad cover, I would have bought it for her. I mean, how do you explain that? I can't believe she kept her job.
Yeah, she's probably making millions and millions of dollars as a WWE superstar.
Well, Triple H is in charge, so I'm sure she had to bow down to the king as the theme.
Yeah, either Triple H or Vince McMahon. Quite honestly, again this evening, Stephanie McMahon was looking absolutely phenomenal. Her upper section was quite stellar during her during her appearance this evening. I was pretty impressed with it.
You know, there was an interesting match following that. The Miz took on Sheamus in a non-title match. The crowd was going absolutely ape shit for any move Damian Sandow did on the outside. I thought it was absolutely cool to watch, and I know the crowd was just trolling, but Sandow really got into it and really played to the crowd. And ultimately, his interference cost Sheamus the match. He took a bro kick that was meant for Miz. Miz was able to get a cheap roll up for the win, but how did you feel about the crowd's reaction? Basically the hate for the Miz and the love for Sandow.
I don't know if this is. I'm trying to remember the last couple Raws, and I missed a couple of them over the last month or so. But I mean, has the crowd been this much behind, or is this typical New York area trolling on the Miz and trolling poor Sandow, just sort of taking over the show on their own? What did you feel like it was?
I don't think they were trying to take the show over on their own, but I think they were trying to say, you know what, we don't want to see the Miz.
Yeah.
You know what? And there's a guy on the outside that's a much better worker than the Miz, and we'd rather see him. And it's like, why waste this guy when you're showing us this? I kind of feel bad for the Miz because I've been one to, I want to say I'm sort of a fan of his. I mean, I was happy to see he came back. The problem with the Miz is he's really good on the mic, I think, but he's not really a great worker. I mean, he's not bad, but he's not great. And there's really not too much you can do with him except throw him in the mid card. And he's a heel, so he's going to have titles. And that, he's someone to chase. But I don't think he's strong enough as a heel. I mean, at the time when he was WWE champion, there really wasn't a lot of great heels at that moment. And he really made out on the gimmick of Money in the Bank. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just what to expect from the crowd. I think, the New Jersey crowds that we've seen have been troll crowds. I think this crowd just likes what they like. So this was kind of a cool crowd because they like what they like, and I dig that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I definitely agree there. I think that I think Sandow is an immense talent, and I hate the fact that they changed the angle. I think he was a good heel going out there with the whole "you're welcome" thing and doing that. I like that. I mean, it wasn't going to get him in the main event, but I mean, it was a pretty solid little heel spiel. And then we have him going to dressing up like an astronaut to now dressing up like Miz. I don't know. I almost feel like he's getting the Heath Slater treatment, only much less deserved than Heath Slater.
The heel spiel, I like that. Well, I don't know. I think Sandow could do a much better job in the heel role, chasing the U.S. title or holding the U.S. title or the IC title, whatever it'll be. But, maybe there's something between Triple H and Damian Sandow. I have no idea. I'd like to see more with Damian Sandow myself. I'm a fan of his. Nothing against the Miz. I just think Sandow is got a lot to offer. So we'll see. I mean, WWE is not blind, and they one thing I have to say over the last 3 or 4 years, WWE actually listens to the crowd, and they listen to the crowd almost too much. So if they keep popping for Sandow, he'll get his push and he'll get his time, just like Daniel Bryan or Zack Ryder. And, Daniel Bryan not decided, but he responded when he got his push because of the crowd. He stepped up and made the most of it. I think Dolph Ziggler did as well, even though he doesn't win as often. But I think Zack Ryder's an example of what happens when, the crowd pushes for you and you don't deliver. So, I do think Sandow will get his chance at some point. Speaking of getting chances, Dolph Ziggler was involved, and I'm just going to recap this match real quick, just so people know what happened. Dolph Ziggler was in a match with the Usos versus the Dust Brothers and Cesaro. Basically, Cody Rhodes was isolated at the end by the two Uso brothers, and he was splashed, hit with a super kick. It wasn't a great match by any means, but that match took place. So I think we are on a track for a Usos Dust Brothers rematch at the pay-per-view. So we'll see there. A match I was extremely interested in was Bo Dallas versus Mark Henry. Bo Dallas got his third win over Mark Henry in a week, in beating Mark Henry this time by a count out. He was about to get crushed on the outside of the ring. He was able to slip out of Mark Henry's grasps and dive back into the ring to win. I guess Bo Dallas is a face now and Mark Henry's a heel. How do you feel about these two workers? I think one guy's on his way up, one guy's on his way down.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Mark Henry's gone from defending the United States of America to trying to beat an NXT jobber. It feels
Hey,
like.
man.
Sorry about that.
Jobber. What are you talking about?
Well, Bo Dallas. I mean, he's not. I picture him being below the Miz in a totem pole of workers and talent in WWE, and that's not to take away from the Miz. That's just saying, hey, you know what? He's on the lower end of the heel spectrum. I think Bo Dallas is still a heel. I think Mark Henry is turning into one because of Bo Dallas, which is a sort of a unique angle to be a heel and turn other people into heels as well.
I think, to your point though, I think the Miz is good on the mic, and he's a passable worker. And I agree, Bo Dallas isn't the greatest worker I've seen, and he was an NXT world champion, but I think his work is limited. Even though, people will say, oh, did you see his ladder match with Adrian Neville? Yeah, I did, but it was basically Adrian Neville wrestling a ladder for a half an hour. Just saying. But Bo Dallas, but to that point, Miz is very good on the mic. I think Bo Dallas is great on the mic. Now, somebody would say, well, we've never heard him talk for more than a minute on the mic at a time. But you know what? He entertains me. I like Bo Dallas. I pop when Bo Dallas comes on. I'm a fan. I'm surprised you're not.
You know what? I like his spiel. I like it, but it's limited. He cannot carry a segment like The Miz. But you know what? He can get the crowd riled up, get opponents riled up. He's great at that, but I don't think it's on the same level as The Miz.
Bo Dallas is cool because he reminds me of Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was like a 2000s fate, like he was supposed to be a face, but he actually was a heel. And he would say things like drink your milk, the 3 eyes. It was all like really good messages, but the crowd just thought he was such a cornball. He was a heel at that point. Now, obviously, he changed his character into an intense killer, but at that point,
let's clarify that. A proverbial killer, not a Chris Benoit killer.
I knew the Benoit joke was coming at that point. I wanted to take it back the minute I said it. Yes, I meant like a really intense worker. But to that point, Angle is kind of where Bo Dallas is now. Bo Dallas is actually saying all very face things, but the crowd doesn't like it. Think about it. He's got the best message in the world. No matter what happens, no matter how far your back's against the wall, if you believe anything's possible. I love that. How could you not? You could dig that, Vic. Right? I think we lost Vic for a second. It always seems like we lose Vic during the Bo Dallas segment every week. I don't know if that's by design or what, but I do have another question for him on the Bo Dallas vein, but we'll save that for a little bit later. Big segment tonight, obviously, is the Authority and Seth Rollins with Dean Ambrose and John Cena. And just like last week, everybody wants a shot at Seth Rollins. The difference is Seth Rollins is angry because he was hit with the Nickelodeon green slime out of his suitcase, led by Dean Ambrose, who set him up. So Rollins also very upset with Ambrose as well. John Cena tonight.
Well, some technical difficulties there.
Yeah. I was talking about the main segment, but you always seem to drop during the Bo Dallas segments every week. Why is that?
You know what? I don't know. I think Bo Dallas has some friends in some very high places here at the Angry Marks podcast network.
Well, I will say this, Big Dick. I think that if anyone can dig the message of believing, it's you. If somebody would have told you that one day you'd be a broadcaster on the Angry Marks network, you would never believe that. I mean, what an accomplishment for you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I mean, it's better than the birth of my first son. It's more exciting to be on this network. Oh, I didn't tell you about that. It's not Facebook official yet, Anthony. Or Angry Tensai. He's
When did
6.
this happen?
He's 6.
He's 6?
It happened. It happened exactly 9 months after your wedding night.
Are you telling me that Ewan was taken away, and we have a 6-year-old in the family now?
we have before.
So I see Ewan every now and then though. So where is the 6-year-old? Who's got custody? Or did you guys just put him up for adoption? It was a love child.
Yes, absolutely.
So where is this kid?
I don't know. Ask Iwan next time you talk to her. Not in front of her husband.
Oh man. Anyway, I was just talking about the main segment, which was how everybody wants a shot at Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins wants to get back at Dean Ambrose now. John Cena came out, Dean Ambrose came out, and basically Triple H booked a handicap match for tonight, which was Kane, Orton, and Rollins versus Cena and Ambrose. Cena and Ambrose got into an argument later in the night, and Ambrose, very wise, said, "You know what? I don't have to take this crap. I'm actually gonna go to Coney Island and get myself a hot dog." So he took off. He left. He was very upset. I got to be honest with you, Dick. With the title not involved, I feel like this is kind of just a recycle of last week. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was the same main event pay-per-view. I thought we had the same pay-per-view, or I'm sorry, the same main event last week on Raw. What was the main event last week?
I don't remember. I think it's funny we covered it here. I don't even remember what it was. I feel like it was some kind of. You know what? No, it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. There's a couple guys in chat. I think it was Cena and Ambrose versus Orton and Kane in a tag match, and Rollins interfered in that.
That sounds about right.
This is very weak booking. It's like, okay, we're gonna have Cena versus Ambrose and Rollins or whatever, but we're not gonna let them touch each other in a singles match. So we're just gonna keep booking iterations of 6-man handicaps and tag matches up until the pay-per-view. I don't know. I think it's a little boring. I mean, you might as well start a face faction if you're going to do that type of booking. It's just lazy booking. And stables allow you to lazy book, and it's actually interesting. So Ambrose takes off, and it looks like it's going to be a 3-on-1 match. Because Ambrose just couldn't put up with John Cena. And the crowd was certainly hot for Ambrose tonight. You know what? Basically in the main event, let's see.
You know what? This might have been the hottest I've seen a crowd for Dean Ambrose. And I mean, he's been getting a lot of rub this last. But I mean, these guys were on fire for him. They were eating out of the palm of his hand when he came out.
Well, he did bring out a hot dog cart when he went to make the save.
I'm talking about in the first segment when he came out.
Oh yeah, all night they were hot for him, and you know what? Every crowd's been hot for him. I mean, he's being positioned to be the next big guy, and I think since he's come out, we've been pretty hot on him. He's awesome on the mic. He's an awesome worker. I mean, he's really the total package. I mean, the only thing I'd say is a little undersized, but he's not that small. I mean, he's a decent sized guy. So,
You know what else give him? I like this segment with the hot dog cart tonight. At first I'm thinking, it is sort of tacky. And then I'm sort of realizing myself, wait a second. It's like, this is very similar to like Kurt Angle with the milk truck or Steve Austin with the beer. And I didn't think, even when I was my first go around watching it, before I really started processing it, I'm like, holy crap, like this is sort of cheesy. I don't know. Like, I wasn't that impressed with it. And then I look back, I'm like, wait a second. It's like, this was entertaining, and the crowd was absolutely eating it up.
Dude, Ambrose is a slime bag, and that's why we like him. Ambrose is a guy we would have hung out with back in the day. Ambrose...
he would have bought us cigarettes.
But but that's Ambrose. So he gets wasted, has a couple beers. He's whacked. It's like 2:00. We don't have a ride home. He's smoking his cigarettes and he's hungry. He's the kind of guy that would eat a hot dog out of a cart, man. You know, that's Ambrose. Or he's a guy that would hop on the Q train and head down to Coney Island because that's just what he feels like doing. And that's what makes Ambrose awesome. That's why he could be the champion. Because he's crafty. And that's the word I'd use. He's very crafty. He'll do whatever it takes. And I love that about him. But you know, Ambrose is one of those guys. He can turn it on when he wants to turn it on. He can joke around when he wants to joke around. And, you know, he's a very diverse character with many layers. And one of those layers was he basically let Cena get the shit kicked out of him in a 3-on-1. But at the end of the day, he decided to do the right thing and make the save. I mean, that really sums up how the thing.
He didn't really come make the save. He let the match draw out to a conclusion, and then he came out with the hot dog cart and pretty much beat up, or then had Cena's back, then cleared the ring, and we got 2 matches on our pay-per-view given to us. You want to tell us what they were?
Well, I didn't really understand. Correct me if I'm wrong. So is this in the same night now? This is actually something I want to ask you because it happened so quick. So after Ambrose made the save, Triple H came out after they cleared the ring and said, okay, you guys are all buddy-buddy now and you both want Seth Rollins. So at Hell in the Cell, you guys are going to fight each other. And I believe in a Hell in a Cell. And then the winner gets to fight Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell. Is that all on the same night? Tell me if I'm following.
In the same night, except from what I gathered, it's just Cena versus Ambrose in a regular match. And then the winner of that match gets Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell.
You know what sucks about that? I'll tell you how this is going to play out. Because Cena's going to do the right thing. Ambrose is going to get a big win over Cena, for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and he's going to get the big rub, right? And finally, we're going to see a Rollins and Ambrose match. I mean, we saw one where Rollins did get the win, but we're going to see a decisive one. But here's the thing. It's just lazy booking because Ambrose has to lose, because then you're making Cena look even weaker if you could not only beat John Cena at the beginning of the night, but then go beat Seth Rollins.
You know what? I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think that, to be honest with you, with the reaction, let me ask you this. If you were looking back a month ago or 2 months ago, before Roman Reigns went out with the injury, would you have pictured Roman Reigns having the crowd as behind him as they are with Dean Ambrose?
Would I? No, I don't. I think they have different kinds of reactions. I think Reigns has more of that little kid and girl crowd, the John Cena crowd, whereas yes. I think Ambrose has like the smarks, the marks, and like the mainstream guys and the old school guys who love like the acting like we do. You know, I think Ambrose has all the real fans.
Yeah, no, I definitely think you're right there. But I don't necessarily know, even if they did try to shove Roman Reigns down their throat as much as they have, or not even shove him down their throat, just giving it to him as they have Ambrose, I don't know if he'd be getting as much of a reaction. I think he's just sort of blowing Cena out of the water every way, shape, and form. Whereas with, like you said, with Reigns, it was sort of like the Super Cena, Super Roman Reigns. I mean, they got actions he got a reaction because he's a big guy. He's built good. He gets to himself, and little kids love him.
We haven't even tapped in to Dean Ambrose yet because think about it. He's still, even though it seems like he's been around forever, and so have the other two guys, they haven't. Once he gets more established, he can take liberties in his mic work and maybe even improv a little bit, like some of the main guys do. And I think he's going to carve people up. I think he could be like a modern day Piper or Nash on the mic that can work his ass off. I mean, he's very interesting. I mean, I guess he's kind of similar to like a Chris Jericho, like a Jericho.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've used the analogy a while ago of him with Roddy Piper, just sort of the new look with the jacket and jeans. He just seemed very Piper-esque in that regard right now. That's not to say there's the limit for him, because I think like you just said, like somebody more like Jericho or Nash, where he takes a little bit more liberty, gets a little bit longer mic time, things like that. And another reason I think sky's the limit for him, we saw what he did with the mic in his hand tonight.
Right.
Now, one of the less fun segments that I saw, actually one of the really disappointing segments that I saw, was the interview with Roman Reigns. Did you catch this?
Reigns is horrible on the mic.
It was absolutely horrible. And it was amazing the fact that they probably recorded that and did probably a dozen takes or however many takes. Yeah, do that because that wasn't live. And that was the best that they could come up with. He stuttered with words or said something wrong. Wasn't that convincing, just tacky background, sort of monotone. And I don't know, it was just sort of like that was just his push. It felt like, all right, it sucks he got injured, but push just got deflated that much more with Ambrose running roughshod around here.
Yeah, I hear you. You know, I don't know. I think there's a lot of places they can go right now, and I don't think Roman Reigns is a great choice, but it seems like they're going to go that way, Beck. I hate to tell you that, but you know, they really seem to be pushing him. I don't know. I mean, I like him. He's good, but I don't know if I'd make him the main guy. He could be in there. He could be in the mix for sure. But man, if he's going to be the guy to take down Lesnar, they better be sure. They better be sure.
How about this for next couple pay-per-view bookings? And just hear me out here. Cena and Vince matchup. Ambrose wins, gets Rollins Hell in a Cell, wins that matchup, goes on to Survivor Series, wrestles Lesnar, loses to Lesnar. Those are my thoughts for the next couple of pay-per-views. I don't know if it happens, but I think that's where I could potentially see him ending up as far as just the sky being the limit.
I like where you're going with that, and I can see the correlation between if Ambrose loses, Reigns kind of helps his boy out. I would like to see a Shield reunion if they're going to make Lesnar lose to be a bullshit finish, because I don't think anyone should go over Lesnar clean unless that's the guy you're going all the way with. That's your main guy. That's your money man. You know, because basically at that point, you know, Lesnar's pretty much done off one of the big runs we've seen in a long time. So, you know, they got to just really use it the right way. It's important.
Well, I think they make the decision. I think they can make the decision, or I think that they obviously will make the decision before, or right around the time of the Royal Rumble. But I'm thinking between now and early January, I think they're taking a really hard look, and especially if they make stuff go down like I just described with the Survivor Series matchup where Ambrose does get a title shot, then I think that's where they say, okay, is Reigns over enough to get a shot, or is Ambrose over enough to get a shot? And can either of them make a believable win and take Lesnar down on his own?
Yeah, it should be interesting. Now let me ask you, Big Dick, are you excited for the Tuesday night show with the Prophet and Zayn?
You know what? I'm very excited. Who are the special guests this week?
Well, since you asked, I'll tell you. I coming across my desk on tomorrow night's show, the Undisputed Wrestling Show, in the first hour, we'll have former NWA champion Chance Prophet, and in the second hour, we'll have Scott Teal, the author of Stan Hansen's autobiography, The Last Outlaw. How about that?
Wow, that's quite the combo. I was thinking they were going to have Alberto Del Rio on the show. Maybe next week, huh?
Chance Prophet. You know him?
Chance Prophet?
Yeah.
I do. We wrestled in high school together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. He was 2 weight classes above me.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Occasionally, when I wrestled in place of Maurice Worthy, we would get a match together every once in a while.
In place, dude. Vic, I have a question. Why is it that as I've been doing Raw Reaction, probably going on, a little over a year now, not more than that. Why is it that I'm just generally very tired on the airwaves for when we get on here.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know if it's being tired, other than the fact that you've just had the hell bored out of you by Raw, and you're looking for any escape from the piss poor showing that it was.
During the CM Punk years, I didn't fall asleep on the air.
No, not at all. But during this wrestle crap, I mean, we have Torito, we have the Usos, we have Adam Rose, we have the two chicks from Good Morning America.
Joan London came out. Did you like that segment?
Is it make me a bad person? I have no idea who Joan London is.
No, it's okay. She hosted one of the Good Morning shows apparently, and I think she's going through cancer treatment actually.
Yes, I gathered that she's going through cancer treatment because she discussed it, but I did not have no idea. I had no idea who she was, unfortunately, so I didn't really appreciate it.
Oh man, you didn't appreciate it, like it got you mad, or you just didn't understand?
No, I didn't know why I didn't know why she was famous.
Oh, did you like that they gave her entrance music?
I liked that John Cena walked out with her, like when she left. That was nice of him. I mean, you know what? They didn't let Dean Ambrose do it. He was busy going to get corn dogs in Coney Island. So no. John Cena had to do it. That was nice of him.
No, there's certain people that can't go near all things good, and I guess Cena is probably the only thing. It would have probably been a bad time to have Bray Wyatt come out and he's got the whole world in his hands, like they did with the kids.
Yeah, that might have been a little freaky. Now, I missed the segment with Bray Wyatt tonight. They didn't have any matches, did they?
No, they were building up the individuals within the Wyatt family with kind of like little vignettes talking about each character. But they have a big announcement coming or something big. I'm not sure what it is.
I hope they become faces. I hope that's what their big thing is. It's just like, we're you guys now.
Well,
we're good guys. And we're in New York.
How cool was that?
All three of them are individuals now? What's
that?
All three of them are individuals now?
I don't know about that. I think they're just character developing these guys. What would have been cool is if during that whole Good Morning America segment they would have let those guys on. They would have
yeah. I'm sort of hoping that the Wyatts do come out and destroy the Adam Rose party posse.
Yes, or have Chicken Head.
No, Chicken Head would escape, not by much. But yeah, the entire Adam Rose party posse needs to just get destroyed by the Wyatts, and then Adam Rose can go back down to developmental for another 2 years until he comes up with another character.
I don't even want to see him back.
Maybe it's like it's a tag team or something. I could see him be. Like,
you know what bothers me? WWE showed like pictures of Edge and Christian traveling together for Raw. And they did just that little vignette building up the SmackDown special. You know, you got Edge and Christian, man. Play that. Get them out there. Have them do something. I mean, they're one of the best duos ever, and they're funny as hell. I would have liked to see them out there together. I was really disappointed that they didn't.
Yeah, they were definitely some of the best wrestlers on the mic, especially Edge.
Oh, yeah.
He was just absolutely phenomenal. But they also played off each other very well. It wasn't like Christian couldn't hold his own, but they played off each other very well.
Edge was a very intense character, and I used to think his mic work was very awkward, but then when he really embraced the rated R superstar, I mean, man, he was so good as a comedy face with Edge and Christian, but man, he really excelled in that rated R character. He was great. He was great. But it's all
done. Legitimized him. But so anyway, what do we have? Have we missed anything?
The upcoming Hall of Famers. You know the big question.
They have new ones already?
Not yet, but I'm hearing rumors that the very first Hall of Famer might be coming in, and I think his first name could be Chris.
Really? Chris Jericho?
No, I think it could be a man also from Canada named Chris that I'm hearing rumors. Do you think it'll be him?
Is he capable of crippling people?
Oh, he is. and he's very familiar with the Nordic Flex.
Oh wow! The Nordaflex is quite the tool.
Yes, it is.
You use it for many general household purposes.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. Anyway, Big Dick, it's about time to wrap this show up tonight. Yes, Ian Clark said my brother Chris, he's going to the Hall of Fame. Chris Clark would be a great addition into the Hall of Fame. You know that? I'd love to see Chris Clark go in.
You know what? He has my vote now too.
Ian, if I had a vote, brother, you would definitely be in the Hall of Fame. You recap Raw better than anything I've read on the WWE webpage. So that's for sure. And you're very knowledgeable on the product. So I'd love to see him in the Hall of Fame. But, other than that, you know what? It's been a good night. Raw actually.
Quickly, before we let go, and I know you're probably half asleep here. Next pay-per-view, what matches do we have? We're only like 2 weeks away, right, Killer Kev?
I don't think Kev, is on. But I think just to sum it in summary, it looks like Cena versus Ambrose with the winner taking on Rollins later in the night. It looks like Usos versus Dust Brothers for the tag titles in some sort of gimmick match. The Miz is now the number one contender to the U.S. title, so it appears he'd probably have a match against Sheamus. It appears Paige and AJ Lee will have a rematch as well. It also appears that we might actually have Nikki versus Brie Bella and have two Diva matches again at this pay-per-view. But that's all I know for sure at this point.
Yeah, like that's the thing that's sort of weird about it. Like, okay, those are the matches that seem like they're on. What are they doing with the Wyatts? What are they doing with Randy Orton, Kane? What are they doing with him? What are they doing with Rusev? I mean, and what are they doing with like Mark Henry and Big Show? I mean, there's none of these. I also probably think that Ziggler and Cesaro might have a match too, which I think could be. I mean, they probably steal the show.
I think Miz and Sheamus will wind up on the pre-show, so you would assume the Intercontinental title would get on the pay-per-view, and those two would mix it up. We know Show and Rusev is most likely going to happen. It just didn't get announced yet.
Yeah, that was weird tonight. That I mean, I thought there would be some involvement by Show, even if he came out when The Rock was in there to not let Rusev leave and have him go back out to get beat up, and that could be like their precursor to the pay-per-view match. But there was nothing like that. There really wasn't no involvement with Big Show at all, other than saying that he was sitting in the corner and getting sensitivity training. So I mean, there's a lot of good wrestlers who don't really appear to have an angle right now as far as where they're going with things.
Right. Well, it seems like everybody's back now outside of Bryan and Reigns. So there's a lot of people for a little bit of airtime, and I think that creates a problem.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of good heels that aren't set in matches right now.
Agree. I mean, Randy Orton should have a match. I mean, he really should.
Yeah, I mean, who are we gonna have him wrestle Bo Dallas?
Wrestle nobody. I mean, he has no program. He has no program whatsoever. Yeah.
The only thing I could see is then Triple H possibly say, okay, Ambrose, Cena, before you guys have your own match, you have to wrestle Kane.
They really blew Evolution, dude. They really blew Evolution, man. Because Batista and Orton, man, they were awesome together. I hate that they didn't do more with those guys, man. I was so excited Evolution was coming back, and it just was such a disappointment. The Marks fucking killed that.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, I mean, it didn't help that WWE tried to bring him back and have him thank Triple H and basically kiss his ass and then say, okay, hey, we're gonna force him on your throat as a heel and not have him work at all or anything.
Yeah. Deal with it. I like that.
Exactly.
Deal with it.
So does Lesnar get a match next pay-per-view?
No, I'm hearing he's not wrestling a match till Royal Rumble.
What?
Yep.
I don't know. That, I mean, I get, hey, legitimized title shots. He's out of the picture for a little while. Like, that's fine. He doesn't have to wrestle every single pay-per-view. But I would think at Survivor Series he has to wrestle.
They should just do a series of, 8 promos, taped. and just show them every week. I mean, at least keep them on fresh on TV. I mean, it's so weird for the champion to not have any impact on the show. It's odd.
Very odd. Very odd.
I mean,
the fact that they mention it. It's not even like Heyman's come out and said, "Hey, you got injured in a training accident. You won't be wrestling this next month or two." There's no rhyme or reason behind it. It's just, hey, he's not going to be wrestling for a long time.
I know, and these guys are on the road working their asses off, and the main attraction just shows up when he feels like it. I mean, that's odd. It's odd.
Very odd. I don't know. I mean, they didn't even mention Brock Lesnar tonight, so I don't know. I mean, maybe he lost the title and they're trying to play it down a little bit. Or I don't know what the deal is.
Well, you know what? The Benoit Hall of Fame speech is coming, and I can't wait till the crowd is chanting one more match. One more match.
Okay, Christian.
Anyway, you know what, man? That's it for tonight. Watch all the Angry Mark shows. They're great. Killer Kev's usually on those shows as well. And it's good times. Raw reaction. Anything you want to say leading us off the air, Big Deck?
Nope.
All right, buddy. You're a man of many words. So we'll see you next week. We're going to be broadcasting live from Ferguson. We're very excited about that. It's a great opportunity for us. We're going to put ourselves in the heart of the action. There's still some action down there. And it's going to be a little crazy down there, but we're going to take the show from there and see how it goes. We're excited about it. Other than that, thank you for joining Raw Reaction. Tensai, Big Dick, over and out. Kev, hit the music.